Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your hosts, Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Brent Mock.
Welcome in. We live. We left.
Welcome to
Jeffrey.
Sports with Balls with Lauren's icy hair.
You like that?
Yeah, we started
you
the
like
conversation
the icy
about
hair?
pet grooming.
I
Yeah,
know.
We
well,
went from your hair to pet grooming.
Well, you said, you know what makes a lot of money in getting your hair done. I'm like,
Absolutely.
I actually learned pets.
If you're listening to
Pet
this,
groomers
if you're
actually
listening to
make
this and
more.
you're young,
Yeah.
I don't care if you're man or woman, go learn how to cut and color women's hair. You will be filthy, stinking rich.
Yep.
Very true. Very true. Even guys here, I told you now. Yeah, guys here. Well, that shit's expensive too. I was gonna get mine.
Okay, what's
I was gonna,
expensive,
I was
Jeff?
gonna like do my tips again, like I did when I was in my 20s.
Please do that. Please do that.
Bye.
I'm gonna say a
I
prayer.
still can't.
Please, God, are you talking about frosting? them,
Yeah,
right?
talking about frosting the tips again.
Dear Jesus, please,
You will be like,
Dear 8-pound baby Jesus.
please, dear God, have Jeff
Were you a heavy
frost
baby?
his tips again.
No, I don't think so.
oh, you said like 8-pound baby.
No.
Please.
That was a Ricky Bobby quote.
Please do
Talladega
that,
Nights.
Jeff.
I will if I'll do it. Maybe we should
Please.
bet this weekend on the games.
No, but I want to know how much you said, oh, I have an expensive haircut or whatever you're going to do.
Yeah, my boy Chris does it.
How much?
His stuff's expensive. I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time. I'm sure it wouldn't be cheap. Although,
But nothing like paying a
women's?
woman.
No,
nothing.
$500-$600 easy. There's a girlfriend of mine I know that I wanted to do a photo shoot for Sports with Balls, whatever,
Yeah.
and just to do her hair and extensions is like $500-$600.
Yeah. And imagine if you did multiple of those in a day.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Damn,
Welcome to being a female.
It's nuts.
Welcome to
Hey,
Sports
guys.
with Balls, y'all. Monday night, 6:30. 6:35 now. But we are sitting over here at Christian's Tailgate, 5114 Kirby. And, man, do we have a jam-packed show.
Jam-packed show.
weekend.
Yes, weekend today. A lot of news broke. Freaking crazy. Thank you so much for all of you joining us here on Facebook, on Twitch, on all the platforms that you can find us on, the podcast, everything. Thank you so much for being out there. Raj is already saying, what's up?
Y'all think it, man. I'm wearing a black
Frosted,
shirt.
he said frosty tips.
I know. I'm going to get it. I swear I am. But look, if y'all can see me on camera, like, it's funny because I look like I'm not even wearing a shirt because y'all are both colorful. Grant's got on his Mavs. He's rocking the Mavs, Jay.
Hey, we
Grant,
started-
are you going? You're suiting up.
Well,
you're going to play.
Well, I could, man. We started the NBA trade, which I'm sure we'll get into, the NBA trade season. And so
Right.
NBA's kind of starting to get going, so it got me in my NBA hype.
Listen, the last couple of days, the NBA definitely is trying to make sure that everybody knows that they're about to have a season.
Yeah, it's the NBA.
And not forget about 'em.
It's the NBA saying, listen,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah. Sorry. Listen. Here
the
we
NBA
go.
saying, listen.
Dude, she's
Yeah.
going this early in the
Yeah,
show. It's
I know.
on.
Man,
It's
I
fun.
can't wait
It's
till
gonna
we
be a
get to
fun
your
show.
Jeff 5. I mean, we're going to talk about the
let's
Brady
go.
Bunch.
Whoa.
All right.
The Brady Bunch.
Well, you'll see what I mean whenever we get
Okay.
there. All right.
There's no
It's a
Okay.
good thing. It's a happy thing.
Golly.
It's a
Jeez.
good thing. But
I'm excited.
we're going to start off the show with all of the crazy freaking news.
Garrett, I hope you're not watching. All right, let's get into the 2-minute drill with Lauren Leal. So this is a jam-packed show. 2-minute drill brought to you by Joe Applewhite Realty, 713-291-5270, making the impossible possible. Looking to make a move, call Joe Applewhite. This man will take care of you. Mention Sports with Balls, and he is going to help you pack. Pay for your move, everything. And if you're shopping now at Kroger, you get to look at him because he's got a little face on the grocery carts now.
Yeah, you just call him. Yeah, his banner will be there, too.
713-291-5270. All right, Lauren,
And
what we
remember,
got?
if you mention Sports with Balls, you will get a discount
Yes.
with Joe. So, all right, let's hear that whistle again one more time, Johnny, because he is awesome with us behind the scenes. Thank you, Johnny J. We will
He's
start
behind the
off.
scenes. Let's slow down on the awesome part of that.
Oh,
He's behind the scenes.
Oh, look, Johnny doesn't have a mic.
Shade.
Johnny doesn't have a microphone. This is going to be a fun show.
Well, that was the boom.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's what he's gonna play whenever you enter the court. By the way.
Okay.
All right.
I can get the layup line going.
Just kidding. Just
The
kidding.
layup line.
We're kicking off the show with the most fun play that happened yesterday, and
Not for Texans fans.
in a while. Texans fans. No, we're talking about the Hail Mary to Hopkins. That's what we're starting with. So the connection between the two are just completely lighting up, and Kyler Murray looks like he's been there like so much more than just this season. So, I mean, we've all seen the play over and over again. Murray gets the snap, he darts basically to the side and gets a dead leg, opens up his hips, boom. I don't know what's more impressive. I mean, that throw's impressive. The Hopkins catch, the strength, getting in his hands and keeping possession of it.
It's a great.
Houston, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that's why I said
no,
not
not Houston. Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien. Good one. Yeah, perfect. But like the whole play was perfect. He was about to get sacked and definitely did a little juke on somebody, and then just chunked it to where Hopkins was in the end zone. I've looked at this play a few times.
In high school?
No, I've said
it's I felt like I was watching a high school game. It was incredible. It was like North Shore.
I don't know how much they reviewed that, but that ball looked like it hit the ground. I don't know if y'all have seen it in depth.
I haven't looked in that.
I've looked at it a lot.
And it moves.
Really?
It moves. But it's neither here nor there. Now, obviously, it counted. Hopkins with an incredible catch. And I loved the catch, and I used to love DeAndre Hopkins until his interview after that catch. Did you see that?
Oh, you mean getting dunked on with his hair?
It was pretty gangster.
Yeah, and
he
just,
on?
I mean,
He's pretty hype
he's
on
calling
himself.
He was
pretty hype on himself.
Yeah, just Mr. Vanity. Like, hold on,
But
dude.
hey, when you make a catch like that, like, how many times have we seen a Hail Mary throw and they just don't work out?
1 out of 100 get it, right?
That worked out. Whether you say, whatever you say about it hit the ground, it didn't hit the ground, whatever, that was, the catch to me was more impressive. There's a lot of guys in the NFL, I feel like, that, because that's why you're in the NFL. You can roll left and you can throw a dart 50 yards.
Yes,
like,
of
I mean,
course. That's why they're pros.
it was an impressive throw, no doubt. I'm not trying to take away from Kyler, but the throw was awesome. The catch.
I was more talking about the run, the escapability.
Yeah,
and
well,
then
yeah, the
chunking
escapability. Yeah, going
You
left. Boy, I tell you, I bet that ruined some bets.
Oh, dude, and we'll get into another one.
We'll get into another big one that you
ruins some
already know
bets.
where we're going.
The catch was absolutely phenomenal. Don't get me wrong; he's above 3 players. It's a highlight to this point in Hopkins. To this point in Hopkins' career, that's the highlight of his career, and it just happens to come on. The Texans are failing.
Yeah.
It's just every Texans fan, like Facebook, Twitter, everything blew up when that happened. About
Rightfully so.
hashtag Texans or Bill O'Brien. Like
Can I say a pet peeve real quick?
Sure. All right.
Do we always have to go to on news? Do we always have to go to what LeBron is tweeting about something?
Why do we have to do that?
Because the first thing I heard was
LeBron
tweeted this. Like, who
LeBron.
cares? I don't care what LeBron tweeted. Let's move on.
Says the guy in the jumpsuit.
Hey, he don't play on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So.
I know.
I'll get
Now,
into that
talk
later.
about Luka. I can talk about Luka for a little bit.
If you want to wait till the end of the show and I get the Jeff 5, I'll save some LeBron comments for there because that.
Okay.
The
So
NBA
that's why you were
We're
quiet.
really hyping up this Jeff
That's
5.
why
I'm
you were quiet.
excited.
I know, man. That's why you were quiet.
Well, that's where we're going next is the NBA because we said lots of trades are happening. Today, the trade is being made from Chris Paul to the Phoenix Suns. So he is out of OKC. And whenever you look at the history of OKC, out of the past couple of years, like so many guys have been traded.
Genius. Whoever their GM. Did you see what I posted? By the way, go to Sports with Balls, our Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I post stuff constantly on there. They have 14 number 1 draft picks in the next 7-8 years. I mean, they are set for rebuilding. Poor Chris Paul. Where's his home?
He just wants to win.
Wherever he goes. I thought the same thing. And that dude's got a family, too.
Yeah, he moves everywhere.
That dude's got a
Guys,
family.
I mean, during this pandemic, did y'all watch that horse when they were doing it? They did horse, they played the game of horse at people's
Oh,
courts.
yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Look at his
dumb.
courtyard.
I didn't like that. But
Yeah.
listen,
It's great.
the reason that
Can't
Chris
be
Paul
complaining
is
about that.
he's been balling out because he's been a little healthy the last couple of years. He played amazing last year for OKC.
Oh.
He played really, really
Yeah.
good. So OKC again makes a good trade, and watch out for them in 3 or 4 years.
I just always think for Chris Paul himself, if it's all about health for him.
Yeah,
if he's healthy,
exactly.
it's going to be good. If
Yep.
not, he's out.
He is a general on the floor for
But
sure.
but I do think, though, Oklahoma City, even though it's really impressive, they're stacking up all these draft picks. Like at a certain point, it's too much. Like you can't really be productive with.
Well,
all
I mean, I'm
that.
sure they're going to trade away a few. I mean, once they find, over the next
It's okay. See? It's a thing.
Man.
It's a thing.
Over the next couple of years, once they find that main guy that they can build a team around, well, then they can trade a few of those away, whatever,
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and get some talent around him. So, I mean, they've got the draft picks to make something really, really important happen.
They've got
in OKC.
a ton of them.
And I'm going to bring this up later, man. Small market NBA teams. Good for them.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Austin Anderson. He said, Grant, he's watching, listening, enjoying the
That's
show.
my boy,
Thank you so
Sheik.
much for joining
Austin.
us. One of your good guys.
Oh, man, I've known Austin forever, man.
Wow.
Austin's my boy.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for joining us, Austin. So we'll go back to the NFL, where Andy Reid and GM Brett Veach signed the contract extension with the Chiefs. The question is raised, which we will get into a little bit later, is Eric Bieniemy to the Texans. Jeff has some news on that we will discuss, but good for Andy Reid and Brett Veach.
Well, I mean, of course, won the Super Bowl. They've got Pat
Makes
Mahomes.
sense.
They're set for.
And Pat
That was
Mahomes
2-3
was the
years.
first tweet to say, I will say that I saw about the Hail Mary catch, and then LeBron.
But I'm fine with Pat Mahomes. I'm
He's
tired.
in the league.
I'm over LeBron.
He's in the league, right?
I'm over LeBron. Yeah.
He's in the league. It makes sense.
It was the response that Hopkins sent him that was awesome. Like he said, Hopkins' response to his tweet was, "I was on my way to get my first ring until you selected God mode." And he's talking about the Texans game last year when the Texans were up
okay.
24-0
Yeah.
and looked like they were on their way to beat the Chiefs in
The
Super
Chiefs
Bowl.
in the second quarter.
And then Hopkins basically gave him props by saying you selected God mode on the PlayStation and
Right.
killed the Texans.
Boom. Are you going to get that new Xbox, by the way? You said PlayStation.
I don't.
Isn't it like Xbox 5 now?
No.
No?
No, it's PlayStation 5, and
PlayStation 5,
they're
okay.
expensive, so I'm going to wait.
Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sticking with the NFL, talking about bets. Oh, my gosh. Nick Chubb made a lot of bettors
Golly.
so mad with that 59-yard run, exiting the field at the first-yard line, which makes sense because if they were to go ahead, score, gives Texans another possession. 2, if they would score again.
Did make sense. I'm sorry.
I don't
mean,
understand.
It did make sense.
No, listen, this is his first game back from injury. He's having a hell of a game. And you want stats. Regardless, you want touchdowns. You want yardage. Why did he just run out of bounds?
Because you don't want to give the Texans another possession
No,
of the
it didn't
ball.
matter. They were up two scores.
Put them up 10, and
Yeah.
there was only like 30 seconds left at that time anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't
what
have
are they
mattered.
going to do?
It would not have mattered. Like, I understand
Guys?
he's playing. He's being a gentleman of the game. But to me, for some reason, I think there's something different. Man, you just don't run out of bounds like that.
No.
You just don't. That hadn't happened.
Well, and I didn't have any money on
I
that
didn't
game
either. I didn't
specific,
think,
but that was one of my picks, was Cleveland -4. And I remember watching the game. He gets the ball and he goes around. I'm like, okay, cool. I got that
Locked
one.
up.
And then he went out the sideline. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, you got to score, bro.
So are you saying this is like for a front to get like some exposure or something? It's his first game back. And
No, he was being
no.
So listen, all they had to do since he got the first down, all they had to do at that point was kneel down. Well, so once he got the first down, why did he just slide or run out of bounds then?
Correct,
Why are you
yeah.
running all the way down to the half-yard line?
Yes, correct. I mean, there's all
And
kinds of
if he
things he
would've
could have
done
done
it-
if he was trying to protect. He could have continued, like one time somebody did, they were running up the sideline and then ran across the field and whatever
Yeah.
to waste time. Like, there's all kinds of things he could have done.
But just to run out the half-yard line,
Yeah.
why?
Would've
It just didn't make
covered-
sense. And dude, I guarantee you, there was some people that lost not their houses, but some people lost a
some money
lost
on
a
that.
lot of
really
money.
good amount of money
I
on
mean,
that.
it would have covered. He would have covered this point spread.
Yes.
with running that in.
Correct.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
most definitely.
Because it was
But
3
then-
points, so Cleveland ended up winning by 3. He runs that in. The point spread was 4. So he runs that in,
4.5.
game over.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
He would have covered the spread. I mean, how many people had parlay bets on that? How many people just, I
Correct.
mean, whoa.
Well, and I get into that on the Buffalo Bills game too.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
Your boy had a parlay on that one.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll
I
see
did-
if it turned
I
out.
did too.
Yes.
My betting guys right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I did what we talked about.
Yeah,
at the
it's
show.
exactly
Yes,
what I did
yes,
too.
I did.
And I mean, damn it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So what we're going to go to next in this 20-minute drill is something something a little bit more serious that LSU put out today.
Oh, yeah.
So Louisiana State University, USA Today reported that Darius Geis and other players and company, former LSU players, involved with sexual assaults that were basically ignored by the school to keep the players on the field. And these are some pretty serious assaults and allegations. Some of them include punching a woman in the stomach and strangling her.
And, I mean, it goes as far as rape
And
on
it-
some of it.
Jeez.
Like,
I
this is
mean,
pretty big stuff.
To a tennis player.
So big that they actually took it off the front page of ESPN because it's not even sports related anymore. This is some serious stuff that these guys are
Right.
into, and this happened over a year ago.
crazy.
And LSU has ignored this, and they're going to get in some deep shit for this.
Oh my gosh! I mean, this could potentially be like.
Do you think they're going to be questioning Burrow?
I mean, I don't know.
I think everybody's fair game.
There's
in something
9.
Like this.
There's 9 players that were reported on there. So I mean, as the information comes in, we'll post it on Sports with Balls, whatever. But it's a serious accusation. Well, not even accusation. These are court filings that LSU chose to ignore and not suspend players for, and they've won multiple games on this, and maybe even a national championship by not suspending certain players.
It's crazy.
Well, and that's
Absolutely
what the
crazy.
one thing to make sure to emphasize on this. It's important no matter what it is. At this point, they're allegations. They'll find out and see. They'll go into it and find out what's going on, what's true, what's not, and everything will come out. But based on what everybody's saying and what's being said, wow. It's going to be hard to see how they're going to come back from something like that.
I'm so sorry for the people that were involved.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible.
Oh my goodness. But to brighten the mood a little bit, Austin Bauer on her feed asks you, Grant, is that a
saw that.
1990 Mavericks starter jacket?
It's not
Where did you
1990
order
because the
that?
Mavs didn't have this emblem in 1990, so Austin needs to get his years correct. But
Man, listen, have y'all seen?
It's not a starter jacket, but don't hate on it though. Don't hate on it.
If it was a starter jacket, that'd be pimp.
Hey, it would be. It would be.
Wait,
But it's
cool?
not it's not 1990 though. It's not.
I didn't get the blue memo.
You didn't get the blue memo?
I did not.
I know she's kind of doing Mavs colors. I appreciate that.
I love this top. I've actually had it for years. It's one of my
can tell.
old reliable.
I guess
Rude.
I'm.
What are you trying to say?
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Grant,
Does it
looks
look old?
fantastic.
Grant's got my back.
I need to know this, Grant.
Austin on Facebook said this looks like it came from 1990. So what do you think?
He said he was being sarcastic.
I know, man.
And
I know,
you're not.
Austin. It's all good, brother.
All right. What's
joking.
next?
All right, we go to your favorite sport,
Yeah.
or at least I think it is.
Yep.
Golf, the Masters this weekend. Dustin Johnson got his first green jacket.
Finally.
He, finally.
Well deserved.
He, broke the Masters all-time record in 2 shots, 20 under par.
Yeah, he was the first person to be ranked number 1 going into the first person since Tiger to be ranked number 1 going into the tournament and win. Incredible golf by him, stayed steady, and then, it just amazing. There's a lot of underlying stories that happened this Masters. Some incredible stuff happened. It was a great tournament to watch. Dustin Johnson basically ran away with it on Saturday, which is fine, because I didn't have to watch too much of it on Sunday.
Right.
But there were some really cool stories that happened. His brother was on his bag for him, and that was pretty cool. His wife running out there, like a lot of people said, her fiance tried to steal the spotlight. She was out there. She was.
That's Gretzky's daughter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I just got to ask you, Jeff, how do you feel your
No, I don't
inner
know.
Tiger love?
Tiger shot a 10 on number 12. Put it in the creek 3 times. It was almost a 10 cup moment. It was pretty amazing to watch. But he went on to birdie 5 of the next 6 holes to end this tournament. But Tiger Woods is fine. I didn't think and remember what I told you. I picked Dustin Johnson to win this.
Yeah.
And him and John Rahm and a couple other players on my fantasy, which I won $8 on my DraftKings. So I was happy about that.
There you go. Got you some lunch.
Yeah, got me $8. But the Masters was fun. It was interesting. Not as entertaining because of the fans. Spectators in golf make, it's just a huge thing. I don't pressure with young players and these amateurs. There's a couple amateurs that made the cut, and I don't think they would have if there was fans.
Well,
the roars and everything around that course.
Well, and it wasn't just that, but the time of year, you had it getting dark a lot sooner. So it was really confusing as to what round they were on. Some guys were on certain rounds. Some guys were still on the second while other guys were playing the third. And you just kind of didn't know where they were on everything. But the favorite, DeChambeau, he ended up +1. He didn't have that great a tournament.
No, Bryson, it was funny because before the tournament he had said 67's my par, which is 5 under for the Masters is par 72.
No, I'm sorry. He was -2. I'm sorry.
But he said 67 is his par for that course. Well, the course ate him up, and everybody thought his long ball is averaging 350. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you. Me and Johnny play golf, so we know. Like, this guy was just talking too much shit.
He was, because I remember
he really was, dude.
in a press conference, they were asking him questions. They were just talking to him, and he was like, so, yeah, like, on number 1, I'd hit it this, and then that would probably get me to a pitching wedge to the pin, and then on the hole 2, I'm like, okay, bro,
Yeah,
like
Calm it down.
chill out, dude. You haven't won this tournament yet. Let's don't start acting like you've done this before.
Yeah, he won the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Open is a long course, and you have to hit it straight, which he does off the drive, and he does hit it long. And then this course is different.
Yeah.
You have to know every single shot, and you've got to know the greens.
Yes.
So, there you have it.
Yeah, he should chill out with all that.
So another last-minute drill before we go to the last one, and I will say we don't have a photo for it. Antonio Brown, news came out today from him being reinstated before signing with the Bucks.
It's a pretty funny story,
He
actually.
basically threw a bicycle at a Hollywood camera. And
No, he threw it at a security gate camera.
security gate camera in Hollywood.
Yeah, and he just got
And
mad at the security gate when he threw a bicycle.
It's
How long
AB.
ago was this?
Last year.
Yeah, it was before he was with the
Okay.
Bucks apparently, and not with anyone else that he had signed with. So it just came out that the NFL said that they were not aware of the alleged incident. Antonio,
Just another mark on the
Another little-
Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
thing.
but in his defense, though, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, I mean, okay,
That's what we
he did that. Like, let's move on.
That's why it's not. To
We
me,
all know,
to me, I'm like, whatever. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Let's
Go
go.
The
ahead.
thing
Let's
is,
move
we
on.
know
He had a pretty
everything
good
else
game.
he's done.
Yeah.
We know everything else he's done.
Yeah,
so how
like,
does
that's what I'm
this
saying.
compare?
Like on the scale of all the Antonio Brown stuff he's done, like this is really at the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
the last, like I said, 20-minute drill that we're going to go to today is in the NFL with Drew Brees being injured. So he may be down for the count for a couple of weeks due to the rib injury. And Sean Payton says that he's undergoing an MRI to see the extent of the rib injury. It was after absorbing a hit from defensive tackle Kentavis Street. After finishing the first half of the game, he wasn't out for the second half. 27-13 over 49ers. The Saints take it. So I just wonder what's going to be happening, what's going to be unfolding for Jameis Winston the next couple of weeks.
Fantasy owners, sorry for you having Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara. This is they're downplaying it. They came out today and said that this probably won't be something that keeps him out multiple weeks. But if you have, and your doctors came out and said that it's not good for him to play because of his lungs. He does have punctured lungs.
Mm-hmm.
He's got broken or cracked ribs. This is not good for Drew Brees.
They said that he would be ready though for playoffs, which obviously we still have quite a bit of games to play before then.
Drew Brees.
Well, but the one thing I'll say though, as somebody that's in the same kind of age demographic as Drew Brees, now granted, he's an athlete. He's in much better shape than I am. But
You sure?
no, trust me, he's in great shape, a lot better shape than I am.
He doesn't have well, that's me. I have a dad bod.
Yeah, just ask.
You called
I
yourself
was
out.
gonna cap on Grant, but I'm like, Grant doesn't have a dad bod.
The thing is,
She was he was beating you to the punch because
Yeah.
he knew you were kind of go there. So he's like,
I gotta wear black.
he was like, he's gonna 8 Mile you. You know, go ahead and say everything you're gonna say about me. I'll
Damn,
go ahead
8
and
Mile
bring it out.
you.
Yes, correct.
Woo.
That's what he
Eminem.
does
That's
in
the
8
first
Mile.
Eminem reference I think
Yeah,
we've
that's
had on
right.
here.
But no, is
And it would be in a jumpsuit.
the crack? Yes, exactly. For real. What up? What up? The crack ribs don't heal that great.
No.
When you're 41.
That's gonna be sore all year.
That's not
everything.
going to be something he's just going to get over real quick.
If you didn't think that this was Drew Brees last year, this will confirm.
Oh, it is now.
This is Drew Brees last year.
Yes.
100% because his health is going to be an issue. So, there you go.
There you go. There is our 2-minute, 20-minute, 10-minute, whatever you want to call it, drill.
Yeah, it did extend a little bit.
16. Whoa. It's already 6:56.
No. So we got to thank some people before we go any further. You said Joe Applewhite. He's a big part of this show, but also we got Roy Stanton.
Yep. My boy Roy.
Roy. Where you at, Roy?
Roy's supposed to be watching. By the way, I want to
Where
thank
are you,
Grady,
Roy?
Austin Bauer, Justin Lack, Corey. How you doing up in Dallas? I hope it's all right. Christine. There's a few people that have been watching, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brandon,
thank you.
what's up?
Thank you so much. But like he said, Roy Stanton with Hybrid Technologies Group, they got you covered when it comes to phones, cable services, surveillance cameras, cloud services, anything you name it, they got you covered. It's Hybrid Technologies Groups. Call them at 832-336-1201. Talk to Roy Stanton, mention Sports with Balls, and you will get a discount.
Yeah.
We also got to think Construction Concepts. Mark and Josh are doing big things in the city of Houston.
They are.
Big things. Vikings.
They are right.
Construction Concepts is changing corporate culture one design at a time. From hospitality, corporate, luxury retail, and medical facilities, their team of experts can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations. Give them a call at 713-589-2682. That's buildithouston.com.
There he goes. That was really short.
Austin,
I know, I thought I'd hit you with a
Austin
real
just said
short
the
one.
injury doesn't cause retirement. I hate to break it to you. It's not that. He only signed a 1-year deal. He wasn't even going to come back this year, but they had all the pieces together. So
And doesn't he already have like plans for what he's going to do?
yeah,
like he's
and
gonna
this is
do a
also
television thing.
Sean Payton's last year on his
Yeah.
contract. So yeah, this spells the end for New Orleans,
Yeah.
Oh.
in my opinion.
What's gonna
Ooh,
happen?
IMO. That's how the
Let's talk about tonight's game
Yes.
before it gets going.
We got the Vikings versus the Bears. Vikings stand at 3-5, while the Bears' record is 5-4. You know what's really interesting about this game is that the Bears were favorites, completely switched to Minnesota 3.5. So I think that factors a lot, and I want to ask you guys about that. But before that, there's a couple different things to get into as well. Vikings are looking for their third straight win, while if the Bears lose, it'll be their fourth consecutive loss, which is crazy because, like I said, they were the favorites. But honestly, guys, our eyes are going to be on the beast, Dalvin Cook. Gets it done on the ground the last 3 weeks. He's been doing it through the air with some catches. He's had 9 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown. 12 touchdowns in total this season. Before we get into it, favorites, is it Minnesota all day for you guys, or do you think Bears stand a chance?
Well, the
What
Bears
are
are
y'all's
the Bears
ideas?
are one of those teams, like Jeff said before, one of the worst teams with a winning record in
Yeah.
the NFL. I don't know what the Chicago Bears are. I thought when Foles came in, I thought they were just going to start. Like the way he played in Atlanta, I was like, oh shit, here comes Chicago. We're
Right.
gonna start balling out, and they just haven't. Nick Foles, for whatever reason, I think even Matt Nagy has basically given up play calling duties at this point because he's just trying to try something new. And when you're Nick Foles and you could get benched by Trubisky, things aren't going well.
And if I'm correct, Montgomery's out for this game.
Yes.
So you're looking at Cordell Patterson and I think a rookie to lead your backfield, and if not, you're looking at Nick Foles. Now, if you're a defensive coordinator for Minnesota, you can tee off on this, like completely. So what was the line? You said -3.5?
3.5.
So
Yeah,
it's changed. It was -3 yesterday or on Saturday.
I'd
so-
be all over Minnesota on this one.
Me too.
I really would.
Me too.
Now,
I don't have a lot of trust in Chicago right now.
you do?
No, I don't.
No, I was
No,
gonna say you
like,
don't.
'cause Chicago, like,
The thing is,
they haven't played that good of teams, and they still don't even know who they are. They're benching quarterbacks. Their players are hurt. They do have one of the best defensive rushers in the league, but man, for some reason, can't get off his ass.
Right.
I don't know exactly who they are, but look, Kirk Cousins could have a hell of a game. Like, he could go nuts. He could throw
absolutely.
4 touchdowns, no problem.
So the thing that I want to know, you said the Bears haven't really competed against great opponents, but the last game they played the Titans and they only held Derrick Henry to 68 rushing yards. It could be the same plan of attack going up against
We'll
the
see,
Vikings.
but again, it's more about the Bears offense, all right? So if you leave the Bears defense on the field for an extended amount of time, they're going to wear down fast. And I just, on this game now, look, the NFL's had a pretty wild weekend. It was some entertaining games and some last-minute stuff. We'll get into the Denver game and some other crazy things that happened over the weekend, but I honestly think just looking at stats alone and how Chicago plays and how Nick Foles is, I'm going with Minnesota -3. I think Minnesota will win by a touchdown.
And looking at the stats, Chicago has won the last 4 meetings against Chicago. And
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just place my bet now.
against Vikings. What am I saying? But Chicago's 2-2 at home. So does that even play a factor?
No, I don't think home field plays any factor this year, just given the way that no fans. I guess weather might. I think weather did influence some games this weekend. I do think maybe that will have some effect just because Minnesota is an indoor team and Chicago's an outdoor team, but they're both playing the same conditions, and if it's outside, weather's bad, cold or whatever, what works? Running game. And that's one of the things that Minnesota does well is running game.
The weather is starting to play a factor
Absolutely
in
it
NFL
is.
games.
But to your point, like on Chicago.
This last week was windy as ever.
Chicago's played Detroit, Giants, Falcons, Colts, Buccaneers, Panthers, Rams, Saints, and Titans. So, I mean, they've played some decent teams in there, but it's not like they've played a gauntlet of just...
No. And their losses have been, by the good teams.
Colts. They've lost to the Rams. They lost to the Saints. They lost to the Titans. The good teams beat them.
The good teams beat them. And I'm not saying Minnesota's some badass team, but
they're playing better.
They're playing better, and they're on. This will be 3 in a row if they get this one. And Chicago is still has an identity crisis.
Yep.
All right, so let's get into yesterday's games. That's for tonight, Vikings versus Bears, which will be leading up to the game. Sunday's games. We'll touch on some of our takeaways, what we expected, what surprised us. So Colts versus Titans, 34-17. Any takeaways from this game, guys?
Colts are who we thought they were. Well, at least I thought. I mean,
I was going to say,
the Colts
are weird.
But they've been playing good as of late. Titans actually haven't been playing that good as of late, and that's very strange. Tannehill was off to a hot start. Tannehill looked great, and maybe people have a little bit of film on them now with Derrick Henry and stuff like that. But I would have thought this. I didn't think with Tennessee's offense that because they run the ball so much, I thought their time management would be better, and I had no clue that the Colts would put up 34 on them.
No. And the time of possession was almost identical, but when you look at that score, 34-17, it just, it doesn't look like Tennessee was in the game ever at all.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we talked about this earlier with Nick Chubb, the Texans versus the Browns. The final was 10-7 Browns, and Browns actually, latest news, they shut down their facility today due to COVID-19 cases. So, I had said this from the beginning. The Browns are going to control the game on the ground, controlling the clock with Nick Chubb. Obviously, the best example was him running out at the 1-yard line. How great is Nick Chubb?
Nick Chubb's amazing. Kareem Hunt is amazing. And we said this every show me and Grant do about taking the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands.
I was going to say, does Baker Mayfield, does he even play a factor into the win?
Well, what
yesterday?
I'll give Stefanski
the weather
credit,
was terrible.
Well, that was part of it too.
It was bad.
I'll give Stefanski credit because Stefanski has come into a situation, their new head coach, who came from Minnesota, he basically looked at it and said, I've got a Dalvin Cook-esque player in Nick Chubb. I'm going to use him just like I did Dalvin Cook. And he's not letting Baker Mayfield kill him. He's letting Chubb win the games. I mean, Chubb yesterday.
Kareem Hunt is a number one running back in any other system.
126 from Chubb, 104 from Kareem Hunt. I mean, you have two 100-yard rushers, and it wasn't even close. Texans had like 90 yards rushing yesterday.
So that was what I was about to get into. Look, we know David Johnson was hurt, and Duke Johnson was playing his former team, so you figured he would maybe put up a little bit of a fight. But, man, you think the Texans are going to explode just one of these games, but they just don't.
I know, you're just waiting for it.
They really might be that bad, and that's not good for them. I mean, with all the talent they have surrounding them, but
do they really have talent, though?
The icing on the cake was the Hopkins catch for them. I mean, dude, they get not blown out by Cleveland. I mean, it was a
boring game.
But they cannot put up anything. Like nothing. They cannot put up any points. They can't get nothing
J.J. Watt
going.
hasn't been impressive on that side of the ball either.
They haven't done anything.
I know. And that's
but
the
that
thing
goes to my
asked about,
question.
are there weapons?
Well, that goes to my question. Are they talented?
Remember I told you before
It's
the season
Watson.
started, I said this was the most talented that
One.
they've had. I was like, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Brandon Cooks, you've got these other, like you traded Hopkins, and you've got, Will Fuller, who's healthy now, like you've got a lot of weapons around you, but man, they don't, nothing. And I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's Deshaun Watson. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with them, dude, but they are boring and terrible.
Yeah.
One of you guys made this point a while back on how when does it fall off of the coach's hands and it's put into the quarterback's hands? And you're like, Watson, you got to lead your team. And I thought this game it was going to be a lot of connecting between Watson and Fuller because Fuller's been making some great catches lately, and that didn't happen. And I think obviously that's due to the weather.
Granted, it was hailing.
Due to the weather.
It was hailing right before the game.
They're not used to that.
Yeah.
Not used to that.
The weather had a lot to do with that. But yeah, I mean, when you look at Texans stats, I mean, it wasn't impressive. 90 on the ground, 163 in the air.
God.
It just was. I mean, it's just not good.
Gosh,
no, against the Cleveland Browns team that is not that good.
No, they're not great.
So the next game is Washington versus Lions, 30-27. Then we got the Bucks versus the Panthers, 46-23. And
that Washington's Lions, hold on. Let's go back to that for a brief second.
All right.
That was a fun game to watch. Detroit was up 24-0 or 24-3 on the Washington Redskins team. And they came back, had to put Detroit had 16 seconds left, right?
Yeah.
And they were on their 30-yard line.
Yeah.
They had 16 seconds, and they gave Matt Prater a chance with a 56-yarder, his third or fourth 50-yarder of the day.
Yeah.
And nailed it to win that game.
And I think what you're bearing the headline on this, Washington, Alex Smith,
Yeah.
390 yards passing.
Good for him on his comeback. I mean, they
That's
made
great.
a lot of big thing.
Congratulations to that guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of comebacks, I mean, Tom Brady always bounces back huge after a loss, which was last week. It was against the Saints, 38-3. But the game was tied. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead.
That's all right.
I jumped
You
ahead
jump
to the
everywhere.
Bucks versus the Panthers.
You go right ahead.
I still won my fantasy
We're ready for
league.
it.
I still won my game, but listen, I sat Tom Brady
Listen.
and Ronald Jones.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
Dude, those two had like 60. They had like 60-something points because Ronald Jones
That's
had only
crazy,
like the
dude.
third or fourth 98-yard rushing touchdown, and he didn't run out the one of the season. Like, I mean,
That's
or not of the
crazy,
season of NFL. Like,
Right, that's-
98 yards.
That's
bro.
crazy.
That's what I was going to say. 98-yard scurry for a touchdown from Ronald Jones. That was the big talk of the game. The game was tied at 17 at the half. So that's what's kind of crazy. But the takeaway from this is Teddy Bridgewater suffered a knee injury late in the game. Carolina doesn't have their bye until week 13, so they have a couple weeks, and we're going to see who's going to step into that position.
Yeah.
And
Have you
I'm
Googled that?
hoping
That's what I was sitting here looking at right now just to see who
You're
that
hoping
is.
what? You're hoping what?
PJ Walker gets his chance.
Dude, I don't know.
Temple, XFL Roughneck. You know, this is what these guys work for. And that's why I love that the XFL is coming back, because they deserve a shot.
You
And
mean
I hope he gets the shot.
The Rock, it's going to turn into like that's going to be wrestling in the NFL.
No, the
No, I don't think Rock
XFL
will
wasn't
do that.
like
I don't
that
think
this year.
Dwayne Johnson. I don't think Dwayne Johnson will do that.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
there you go.
they didn't do that this
Nice.
year, and obviously it's under different management, but they didn't do that when it launched this year in 2020. The rules were kind of, crazy, and you had to learn them, but I thought it was fun. Anyways, speaking of PJ Walker, so what do you think is going to happen to the Panthers now? What do you think the prediction is for this Carolina team?
I don't know. I don't know if the lines have come out yet on that game. I don't know like who they're playing next, but take whoever they're playing.
Yeah, because they're not going to have they're not going to have CMC.
Yeah,
they're
no
not going to
Christian
have
McCaffrey,
Bridgewater.
no Teddy Bridgewater. Like,
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty for them. Well, luckily for them, they've got the Lions next, so that's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be an interesting battle between those two.
you can always come back on the Lions.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
it's Tampa Bay's weird. That's another team I don't get. Like sometimes Tampa Bay, like they did against the Saints, they look absolutely like garbage, and then they come out, they go down 14-7 in the first quarter, and you're like, okay, here we go. And then they just go on this run where they score, it's 46-23, ends up being the final, and you're just like, damn, this is just
Yeah, they
it's a
went
different
nuts.
squad.
When they get hot, they get hot.
Yeah,
That's right.
Gronk and Brady got another touchdown.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the three passing were all three guys. Evans, Gronk, and
And they missed. I watched a good portion of that game. Evans missed 2 or 3. I mean, that hit him in the hands. And Brady was throwing bullets. Don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe a little too hard on close passes, but Gronk. He barely missed Gronk for like a 50-yard touchdown pass. I mean, Evans dropped like probably 3 passes that he should have caught. So it could have been a lot worse. But again, Bucks looked great. Panthers did lose Bridgewater, and we'll see what happens this week as far as PJ is concerned.
Yeah.
do we want to touch on Johnny's team? We
We have to. He already brought this up pre-show.
Eagles
we did?
versus Giants, 27-17. He's jamming over there. So happy for the blue.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones played good again, man. Like, he's so... It's funny because the comparison is Daniel Jones and Lamar Jackson, right? Daniel Jones looks better than Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson's the MVP of the league.
Right. And Daniel Jones has gone 2 games, to his credit, he's gone 2 games without a turnover. And that's normally been his bugaboo. And, of course, I think they're on a 2-game winning streak,
A
right?
bugaboo.
Bugaboo.
A bugaboo.
Yeah.
Bugaboo? Oh,
You never
all
heard
right.
of that?
I know it's a song.
Okay, you know the song. That's awesome.
It's from it's from the 90s.
No, I feel you.
Do we
I
have a
got you. I
bugaboo
got you.
button, Johnny?
But, hey, to the Giants' credit, the Giants, in this terrible, terrible NFC East, the Giants have a shot. I mean, they have a game up now on Philadelphia, who's in first place. So they've got a shot.
They're sneaky. Don't
It's
get me
nothing
wrong.
to brag about, but they've got a shot.
Shepard plays pretty good every now and then. Listen, I only said that twice now, okay? That's it.
No, that is
ruined
such
that
a
for
lie.
him.
Yeah,
You've
no.
ruined that for him.
See?
Every time he
I
says
did?
it, yes, you
I've
did.
heard it
Every
ever
time he
since
says
we
it now,
started
he's
Sports
Johnny
with
like,
needs
Balls.
that. Listen, Linda, listen.
Linda, listen.
If
No,
they wouldn't have lost Saquon Barkley, the Giants would be they'd probably have 5-6 wins at this point.
Johnson, but yeah, I'd agree with that.
Saquon, I mean, that guy alone will win you 2 games. They're a good team. You got Saquon and Daniel Jones. Can you imagine the play fakes they can run off that?
Right.
hasn't his stats been better in years past?
Who, Daniels
No.
or Saquon?
Saquon.
Well, he's injured. He's out for the season.
Before.
I think he got injured in week 1.
Yeah.
Was
I don't
it
even
week
think
1?
Yeah, he got out in week 1. Yeah.
All right. That's my bad. All right, the Packers versus the Jags, 24-20. This is a lot closer game, and it doesn't make you feel comfortable at all if you're in Green Bay.
Again, well, Valdez-Scantling went crazy on this game. Aaron Rodgers it's a W. You know, it was the Jags showed heart, which is something that a few teams in the NFL don't do anymore. But they showed heart and they played well. The Jags came out on top because they're a better team. Devontae Adams did have a huge play and another big day. Aaron Jones looked really bad in this game.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. I remember when this game was coming on, you know, it was Green Bay minus 13.5.
Yeah.
Whenever the spread came. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, it makes sense. Also, too, though, you had a money line of plus 658 on Jacksonville. And I'm just sitting there thinking,
Damn,
would
you
you
just
do
put
something like that?
Dude,
Would
put
you do something like
$100?
that? But you're like, there's no way they can win that game. And I'm sure if anybody put money on the money line on that with that plus 658, you're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this could happen.
Dude, you'd have won a lot of money.
Absolutely.
$100 would have killed it.
Absolutely.
All right, now the next one is the huge takeaway, which we started the show off with the Hail Mary to Hopkins, Bills
the Hail
versus
Murray.
Cardinals.
People are calling it the Hail Murray.
Hail Murray,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
32-30, the crazy ending. So this has been a question throughout. The Bills' great record this year, and although they did take the loss, are we really starting to find who their identity is since they went up against this outstanding Cardinals team?
I said it at the top of the show, and I am super excited about the small market teams in the NFL right now. With the way they've drafted these quarterbacks, Baltimore, Buffalo, Arizona, they've drafted these quarterbacks, and it's working. And it's fun to watch. That game was exciting. That was a fun football game to watch. I mean, you're going up down the field. You've got Murray running for touch. You've got all kinds of stuff going down. Like, it's crazy that these quarterbacks, and they've drafted them in the right systems and put the right coaches around them. It's awesome. I love it. These small market teams are really doing well in the NFL.
Well, you say that about the Cardinals, but does the Bills showing that they went up against the Cardinals, does it prove that they are a contender moving forward?
Yeah, I think the Bills are definitely a contender. I mean, they do things well. I mean, it's Josh Allen's team, that's for sure. I mean, if you had any doubts if Josh Allen if you can see improvement from Josh Allen,
I'm hoping
you've seen it in spades this year.
Sounds terrible. I'm hoping he learned from last year's Texans game, right? Because the first half of that game, Josh Allen was on fire.
He
Remember
was
when
on
he ran
fire, and
into
the
the
Texans
touchdown?
just laid an egg.
Remember when he ran into the touchdown and he was just like, bam, he did like the Superman thing after
Yeah.
running in the corner of the end
Yep.
zone. And then the second half of that game, Josh Allen looked like a deer in headlights. I don't know what happened, but he was phenomenal in the first half and just terrible in the second half. But the Texans ended up winning because Josh Allen had a bad second half, and I'm hoping he can come through that. That's another, like I said, it's a small market team where Josh Allen works in that system.
Let me tell you, that was one of the most quiet games. Granted, I haven't been to the stadium this season yet because of COVID, but that was one of the quietest games that I have been. And I was in the press box, but still, like
Bragger.
it's silent.
Bragger.
And you think I have?
I was in a press box, so what's up?
No, I'm saying that because
Follow
it's
Lauren
quiet
Leal.
up
I know,
there,
I know.
and
I
you
feel
can
what you're
normally
saying,
hear the
yeah.
noise coming through the window, but there was nothing.
Phone number is
There was nothing.
832.
Well, I got you to.
Where did that come
You
from?
figure out the rest. But no, I will say
832
this.
Miss Leo.
I will say this. I
Why
feel
are
like
you putting my number out there?
Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
crazy if it was. My bad.
No, why? Where did that come from?
Oh, because I was like, follow Lauren Leal on all her social media sites. And I was like,
Oh, I didn't even hear that. That's why I was like, why are you?
Well,
you
I know.
got to pay attention to the show.
Remember when you were asking
I'm
Grant?
talking.
And Grant was like, "Oh, you're not paying attention to Lauren." Well, now the roles are reversed.
But I will say this: I think this game, to go back to what we're doing here, to get us back to sports.
Bring us around.
To get us back to sports. Kyler Murray's jumping himself up in that MVP talk.
Yes.
I mean,
for
slowly
sure is.
and surely, he's moving his way up because what he's doing, man, it's impressive. It is. I mean, it's comparison to what Lamar Jackson did last year, and Lamar Jackson won an MVP. So if they can continue on this trek, I mean, Arizona's good.
You love to see it or hate to see it, knowing he's a Sooner.
You know what? I can get over that.
You
I
got
can
over
get
it?
over that.
How about you,
yeah.
Jeff? Love to see it, hate to see it.
I just like it for entertainment purposes, and it makes our show better. So love it. I'm fine with that. Let's blow through these. Come on,
I
let's
had
go.
to ask you guys. All right, so Chargers versus Dolphins, which I said it was going to be the rookie.
Tua,
The battle of the
3-0.
rookies. Yep. Tua, 29-21. Broncos versus Raiders, 37-12.
Yeah, I
Raiders
thought
are
that was
good.
going to be a better game. Man, like I said, Josh Jacobs looks great.
And then we got the Seahawks versus the Rams, 23-16.
This was supposed to be a very, very good game. Watching a few shows today, I learned a couple of things. Take Russell Wilson off that team, and
They're
what
terrible.
happens?
Oh,
Well,
I
was
know.
gonna
He's
say-
the only
Yeah.
guy that can make plays.
Well, I was
for
going to
them.
say, I think what's starting to happen is he's the first 5 games of the season, 6 games, the fact that he could kind of take over and luck them out of games, it's been going for them.
Yeah.
All that's starting to catch up now.
Yeah, and I
he
thought-
just can't do it on his
I
own.
thought Seattle
Yeah.
was going to be amazing. I told you, I thought they were almost
Literally.
undefeated.
Oh, really?
And,
Literally,
dude,
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
you take Russ off that team,
Oh, they're terrible.
home. I don't even know if they win a game.
No, they're terrible.
All right, we'll go to the perfect.
Well, and real quick, those are
yes,
one
yes.
of my 3 parlays.
Oh, go ahead.
Buffalo plus on the money line, Chargers on the money line, and then Seattle on the money line.
Chargers.
Yes.
I did
Oh.
Giants. I did Giants, which I won in the afternoon. It was great. But then I did Chargers on the money line too, and I
Yeah.
did Denver. So I was
Y'all
Okay.
win against Tua because of
Johnny's
Herbert.
Johnny's
Is that
team
why?
won. Yeah,
Is
I
that
thought-
why?
I thought
it-
Chargers are so close in every game.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
maybe
They
they would
are.
go over there,
Yep.
and I thought they would perform.
Me too.
So
I was
They
on.
are.
I heard you on that.
it would
one.
have been a good payoff.
Yeah, it
would've
was.
been a
It was
good
like I think I
payoff.
put $25 and it was like 8 something to win. I was like, nice.
It would have been a good payoff.
36-10. Steelers take it from the Bengals, and they remain perfect.
Poor Joe Burrow.
Is that any?
Joe Burrow is not going to have an arm in 3 years.
No, he's not.
He's not.
No, that cat.
I mean,
They got to put some people
golly.
around him.
They need a running back, and Joe Mixon's great, but he's injury prone.
All good, all good. So the 49ers versus the Saints, we mentioned it earlier with Drew Brees. The Saints took it 27-13 moving forward. What do the Saints look like without Brees? We will see.
Golly, man.
And lastly, the Ravens versus the Patriots, 23-17. And what we said, Lamar Jackson's not the same guy. Is Cam proving himself, or is it just the Ravens team that we've said they're not as impressive?
I don't know. I think after a while, you just start getting. Hey, NFL defensive coordinators are in the NFL for a reason.
Yep.
They're smart. They're smart. They can game plan. They can study. And I think I don't think they've necessarily figured them out, but I think they're starting to get some tendencies. They're starting to get game plans together, and
So they're just reading.
Now,
Yeah.
this was also another bad weather game. It
That
was. I mean, you
influenced too.
couldn't even see them at certain points.
It
That
was
was
bad.
too.
The
pouring.
camera on that was,
So
yes.
I'm not going to take too much out of this as far as how Lamar Jackson played, but or the Patriots. Look, this is a game that Bill Belichick had a game plan. It was pouring down rain. He came out, he executed it, and they won. I'm not going to sit here and say that Lamar Jackson looked like crap because it was just pouring. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it was bad weather, but
Right.
but it didn't look great.
No, Lamar Jackson's just not the same guy, man.
No. He's
This
just
is
not.
this is
Think
the
it's a mental
unanimous MVP of the NFL.
And he hasn't been injured. So
No.
that's the interesting thing about it all.
He's got 3 incredible running backs. 3 of them.
I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Well, and the only thing I will say
And
too,
Hollywood Brown has been absent from the
It's-
entire season.
and it's easy to get on their case about it,
Is
but
it
in their defense,
jumpsuit day?
I
There was a
don't
girl
know.
that just walked out of the bathroom
Hey,
and has a jumpsuit
hey,
on.
I'm
go
an
ahead.
influencer. So
Gray sweatpants weather.
that's right. Yeah.
You got to post about it on your Like
to
to
their
Know
point,
It.
they're 1-2 in the last 3 games, but they've played since their bye week. They've played the Steelers, the Colts, and the Patriots.
All
I mean,
good. Oh,
those,
well,
you
the
know,
Patriots aren't really that good.
Yeah, but they've
that's
got
it.
Bill Belichick.
With
and
their running game, they should have
Belichick makes you
controlled that
good.
game. They should have won that game, I think. I mean, Belichick kind of won that game. A great job of him coaching, and a good comeback for Cam Newton. Cam Newton's played like shit lately.
Yeah, but man, this kind of goes to your point, what you were saying earlier about teams they've played. Look at the schedule. This doesn't say a lot. They've beaten the Cleveland Browns, the Houston Texans,
Yep.
lost to the Chiefs, beat Washington, beat Cincinnati, beat Philly, and then lost to the Steelers.
Lucky.
And then lost to the Colts. Lost to the Patriots. So
Yeah. All the good teams beat them.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is a team that's supposed to have an incredible defense.
Yes.
That cracked me up, Johnny. Thank you so much. I absolutely love Napoleon Dynamite, one of the best movies of all time. In my book, Grant, I think you're going to take us back.
I like taking way back.
Let's go way back to your jumpsuit.
Yeah, no, he's just, hey, don't hate on it.
It's a hit.
It looks good.
I like it.
I like it too. It says Mavericks on it. That's why I like it. Baby. So today's November 16th, if I remember correctly.
Tosin.
November 16th, 2020.
We got to thank Tosin for this, I believe.
Ooh, good call. And you know what, man? That's why you're here, brother.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here, to make sure I'm on point.
Brought to
And
you
you did a good
by-
job. And then you said his
Well,
name
it took
too.
me
I'm
for,
sure
I
he'll
know,
make
it took
you-
me forever to remember his name. What did I used to call him.
I don't know. You used to call him all
He said
kinds
token
of
or
whatever
something.
started with a T. That's what you were saying.
Tesla.
But yeah, Tosin and Texas AV Productions are responsible for this segment. Texas AV Productions is your event partner for all things live production, setup, designing, installation, corporate events, concerts, and touring support. If you mention Sports with Balls, you will receive a free consultation plus 10% off your total bill. Call them at 281-241-7520. Check them out online at txavpro.com.
.com.
There you go. November 16th, 1957. Did you know Boston Celtic great Bill Russell set the NBA then record of 49 rebounds in one game, and they beat Philadelphia?
What's funny is you said then record.
Because that's my next one. The record was broken in 1960 by Wilt Chamberlain with 55 in a game versus the Celtics.
Okay.
I found this crazy. November 16th, 1969, in case anybody cares about presidents. Did you know U.S. President Nixon became the first president to attend a season NFL game while in office?
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
And of course, the reason I bring it, I don't know.
They wanted to stay away from sports?
And luckily for Mr. Nixon, President Nixon, he was able to watch the Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Redskins 41-28.
What an impressive win.
Yeah, you're damn right. November 16th, 1976. Did you know Rick Barry ended the longest NBA free throw streak of 60 at that time? You know what the current record is?
What?
Set by Michael Williams, 97 straight
Dude, if
during
I
the
would've-
93 and 94
I was going to say
seasons.
John Stockton. If you'd have gave me a guess, I would have said Stockton.
But Dirk Nowitzki is third with 82 straight games with a free throw made.
wow. That stat might not ever be brought up again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, if you ever want to know Mavericks thing, I'll tell you all about it.
We'll have a little Maverick segment.
All right, let's go.
November 16th, 1988, Jose Canseco was the first unanimous AL MVP since Reggie Jackson was in 1973. That happened today on November 16th. This is for you Houston people, so you can have some excitement. November 16th, 1984, did you know Houston blocked 20 Denver shots, tying an NBA regulation game record?
Ralph's,
Wow.
Twin Towers, right?
Yeah, that was around that time. And then last, of course, because Wilt's one of the greatest, November 16th, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain, did you know he of the San Francisco Warriors scored 73 points versus the New York Knicks? And of course, earlier that season before that, the same year but earlier season, that was his record 100-point game against those same Knicks.
Wow.
So amazing.
100. So there you go. You are smart and know a lot about history.
I think we have a little bit of news about New York coming up too in the
The Jeff.
Jeff 5.
Oh, Jeff
No,
5.
listen,
So
I mean, we're running
I'm
up
excited
against it.
about
I'm just
this.
going to blow through.
Let's listen to you, man.
No, we got some
Come on, let's
time.
do it.
No,
got
that's
some
all. I
time.
mean, look, I'm just going to blow through a couple of rumors and some hot takes real quick. The Greek Freak going to Miami.
All right.
I like that.
Okay.
They're already really good. He does that.
I mean, they were in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that would solidify them as the East favorites.
Jimmy Butler and the Greek, that'd be a hell of a combo.
Then you got the news here in Houston: James Harden to Brooklyn Nets to join Kevin Durant.
It's still a rumor.
Yeah.
Complete a rumor. Do we like this?
Well, because Westbrook already requested a trade, and then I was like, no, he didn't request that. And Houston's saying they want to keep them both, but both of them have said. Harden did come out today talking to the Houston Chronicle and said that he does want to be traded. Now, that is a little different than the rumor about Westbrook. Harden says he wants out. Westbrook wants his own team. If Houston keeps Westbrook and gets rid of Harden, I'm just give up on the Rockets for a while.
Here's my take on this.
Give up on the Rockets.
One, I think Harden wants out because he knows they're about to go into rebuilding mode, and he's ready to fight in the finals.
And poor
he's
Silas.
ready to be there.
Poor Silas. I love this guy. He's an incredible head coach and brought in, might as well rebuild. Get rid of both of them, rebuild.
Hey, look, if you can get out of James Harden's contract, by all means, man. I mean, that's a heavy contract. Somebody wants to take that on.
Speaking of
God bless
contracts,
him.
Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers opted out, this is pretty interesting, and wants a new deal. He wants more money.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think LA will give it to him, though. I don't think LA is going to let him leave. They're going to say, Mr. James, do you want Anthony Davis to leave? And he'll say no.
It's
And you're like,
crazy
okay,
that
sir.
the days, the days of
happen.
staying with a team are there's no more staying with a team. Even if they sign long-term contracts, they redo them. There's always clauses. You don't stay with one team anymore. Chris Paul's been in 3 different teams in 4 years.
I know.
Dennis Schroeder, who just got traded, he's now with the LA Lakers. You've got so many people that are going absolutely everywhere. Ricky Rubio's been with 4 teams in 4 years. And he's an amazing point guard.
He's
a
a good
guy
player.
that we don't like to talk about because he's mentioned freaking everywhere, but you look at how many teams LeBron James has been with, too.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The days of staying, it's let's just join a super team for a ring.
Correct.
That's it. And that's kind of annoying.
Jeff.
Baseball Hall of Fame names came out. Look on us. There's a bunch of course, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, all these incredible players. Billy Wagner, first year on the ballot, I think, for him.
I really hope Roger Clemens, something happens.
He got close last year, 56.
Something happens this year.
I want Barry Bonds. Again, all those players deserve it. Again, no Pete Rose.
I can't believe it's November 16th.
I mean,
Where did this year
by
go?
the way, November 16th, my mother's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama.
I did forget about that all day.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Michaels.
Yeah, well, it's Miss Connolly now, but
Miss
yeah.
Connolly.
And I don't think he has an S at the end of his name.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that
You're
because
welcome.
nobody realizes that, man. Everybody says Michaels.
Sometimes
Everybody.
I've said Jeff Michael, and I've also said Jeff Michaels.
Like
and
you did just now.
And I've said Grant Mile. I don't know if you noticed, but I
you
said
have
Grant
said that?
Miles too. I've switched because
Should I have a name tag on?
y'all try to
Lauren
say
Leals.
y'all try to say Grant Mile and Jeff Michaels or Jeff Michael and Grant Miles.
Yeah.
See?
No, it's not that. Jeff Michael, Grant Miles.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Boom.
Johnny
When
J's.
it's y'all's names.
Huh?
When it's y'all's names.
Johnny Jopia's.
Jeff, but before we get out of here, because we are running up against it, you got to tell us a little bit about your weekend.
I had a great weekend. That's that's it. I had a really fun weekend.
What's the Brady Bunch song?
Can I just tell you this?
Oh, God, if
Hold
you
on.
had
I
that
just
on.
want to say this, man.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's kind of disappointing, dude.
Why?
Because, I mean, you've played this, before the show, we're sitting here talking about it, and you're like, oh, okay, man, I'm like, bro, I'm getting excited for what they hear about, and then you're like, oh, no, it's not.
We
it's
ran
nothing to
out of
talk
time
about.
at 7:30.
God, this is a podcast.
We did. We ran out of
We can
time.
spare one.
Give me a
we can spare
break,
1 to 2
brother.
minutes.
Linda, listen.
Linda.
Listen.
Someone's question.
So
Oh,
we
yeah,
had
big
a
time.
listen.
It's your idea, pal.
I had an incredible weekend with somebody. It was awesome. Sat on a porch. There were a lot of kids, and the kids got to play around. We went out to a place called Margaritaville down in Conroe.
The new one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sweet.
it was
I wanna go
very,
so bad.
very kid friendly. There's beaches they have on the lake and stuff like that. It was windy, so the bugs weren't out there. And the weather was beautiful this weekend.
Yeah,
So it
weather
was a
was
fun
nice.
time, man. I'm sure you'll hear more about it, but we are
Just
out.
not on the
Awesome.
show, just before the show.
Yeah.
Well, we love to hear it.
But
Yeah,
now,
we'd like to hear about
so
you. We'd like to
I'm
hear
not-
about you.
So now I can't do my Hinge or Bumble updates. What the hell? That was part of
Well, you just got to get her texting you during the show saying some
But
crazy
see,
stuff.
this is more fun.
Right.
This is more fun to hear this.
This is more fun.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
I like it. I like it. We're happy for you, Jeff.
All right, listen, y'all. 7:30. We appreciate all of y'all for paying attention to us and sticking around. And we'll be back Thursday evening. Want to thank Joe Applewhite from Joe Applewhite Realty, 713-291-5270.
We got to thank Roy Stanton with Hybrid Technologies Group. They will help you on all your cable services. Give them a call, mention Sports with Balls, and you will get a discount.
Mark and Josh, Construction Concepts, doing some things in the city of Houston, building it up, and then Tosin, Texas AV Productions. Thank you guys very much.
There you go. Thank all of you guys for
They are
listening.
responsible for
Final
this.
thought. Do you have a final thought?
On Vikings Bear? Wait, what?
No, it's already started. Very good. I was going to say final thought. Texans are going to rebuild.
I was going to give you a final thought.
Do it.
Josh Luton, the new
yeah.
the new Jaguars
Jacksonville
quarterback.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's working the stash. He's not killing it like Minshew. He's not killing it like Minshew, but he's building it. Like he's growing it.
It is No Shave November.
I saw in his he's working it.
From there.
He's working it.
Chef Michael, Lauren Leal, Grant Miles.
That was my final thought.
DJ Johnny J on the ones and twos back there behind the glass making it happen. The invisible glass, that is.
Sports
with
balls.
And we're on all of the platforms. Check us out.
Balls.
And like Jeff said, we'll see you on Thursday. Peace.
Thursday night, y'all. Check out the podcast. We out.
Balls.
Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho.